Hello, I'm Phoenix. I use they, them pronouns.
And I'm Eve. I use any pronouns.
And this is Talkin in the Tavern.
Woo!
And this month, we're talking about graphic novels.
Yay!
Because we both really enjoy graphic novels,
Yes.
and we want to talk about them more. But obviously, because they're such a different format to the prose fiction that we tend to read, we can't really compile them or anything. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, we tried to morph Cop-Out, but
Yeah.
not great.
Yeah. We already managed to squeeze Compile into talking about Percy Jackson's show.
Exactly.
Somehow. But we're just going to not try properly, really,
Yeah.
for this one. And so what we've done is we've picked three. We talked about them at the end of last month's book club. But our three graphic novels, so you can pause and go read them and come back, are The Tea Dragon Society by Kay O'Neill, The Sad Ghost Club, Book 1, by Lies Meddings, and Saga, Volume 1, by Brian K. Vaughan. So that's issues 1 to 6
Yes.
of Saga. Those are the three. And we're just going to talk a bit about each one. We've each given them a score out of 10. And we'll just talk about them. And then we're going to talk about some recommendations for other graphic novels.
Yeah,
And just generally have a good time.
exactly.
And hopefully, although we can't promise anything, hopefully it will not be as long as last month's Talking in the Tavern. I really apologise
say
for
that.
the hour and 40-minute episode that you got at the start of July.
And the almost 2-hour episode.
Yeah, that was after I'd cut 20
So
minutes. The recordings were about 2 hours long. It was bad.
Yeah. We were having a great time.
Yeah, it was.
It was hell to edit
It
for
was
you.
a time. I was in the middle of DIY renovating, and it was just it was one of those days. I hadn't spoken to anybody except my dad for 4 weeks. 4 weeks?
4 weeks?
Days.
Oh, God.
4 days. Not 4 weeks. It felt like 4 weeks.
The place
I
was
was
great.
losing my mind, safe to say.
And
But
we
I'm
rambled. It was a
not
great episode.
losing my mind quite so much this week, this month, this time.
Perhaps. So they
That
say.
was convincing, wasn't it?
So they say. So yeah, we will begin to talk about our lovely graphic novels that we have. So once again, go away, read them, come back. They're quick. They're easy to read.
Yeah.
They're very cozy
Graphic
to read.
novels.
2 out of the 3 are very cozy to read.
2 out of the 3 are super cozy. The third is not so much cozy.
Not so much cozy, but really cool.
We should just put a little warning. Obviously, spoilers, but also a little warning for Saga.
Yes.
That shit's graphic.
Oh yeah,
It's graphic novel.
yeah,
So if you're not into that,
yeah,
don't bother.
yeah. I would check warnings. Is
Yeah.
what we're saying.
Yeah. There are multiple bear tits as well.
Multiple, many.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to that one at the end. We're going to start with The Tea Dragon Society by Kay O'Neill.
Which was my favorite. Is my favorite
It's
graphic
also
novel.
my favorite of the 3.
It's I think it's my favorite graphic novel, which
Ooh,
is
I don't know that I could make that decision.
it's purely because I love it so much, and I read it when it came out
Oh, yeah.
and got really attached. I never continued on, which I'm annoyed at, which I'm going to order them all.
I do want to read the other 2 because this one does end on not like a cliffhanger, but it does end with setting up quite a lot of stuff for
Book 2.
book 2.
Yeah, and
I've just not.
the-
I've also just not picked up book 2, but I will.
And the other sequel one, I can't remember what it's called, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, I really, really love this graphic novel. I gave it a perfect 10 out of 10.
I gave it a 10 out of 10 as well.
Yeah, perfect. Good.
I don't have I mean, to be fair, most of these I don't really have any criticism of.
Yeah.
It's just that they have lower scores just purely based on vibes.
Yeah, that's fair.
But this one I really enjoyed. I love the Tea Dragon. It's so cute and so
Right.
adorable.
And at the end, there's that section of what each tea dragon is and
Yes.
what they
I
are
don't
and their
know.
height. And
Have you got the hardback?
I do.
Yeah, because so do I, but I don't know if maybe that's just in the hardback.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
If you have the paperback, let us know.
Let us know. Yeah, because I don't.
Yeah.
Which does mean that I need to make sure that I get the other 2 also in hardback.
Oh yeah, these are
I
huge
like my sets to
hardbacks.
match. They're really big.
They're really big.
It's because I guess because they're middle grade, so
Yeah.
the format is more like that of like a picture book. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair. Like a board bag. Board. You
a
know what I
board
mean.
bag, yes.
Board bag, yes. What are they?
board book.
Board book, thank you.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
designed for
Yeah.
little readers with little hands,
Yeah.
I guess.
And it's sturdy. But no, this
Yes.
is like the cutest and most like heartwarming book ever.
It is.
I
It
read it and
so
recommend
sweet.
it constantly. Yeah. It is
So
the cutest thing.
let's quickly talk about the like story. I
Yeah.
guess. Which is that. So we start with our main character Greta, who is learning to be a blacksmith from her mum, and they're like in the market, and she is, after she's been learning, she's like going home, and she sees some like dogs, I guess, that have cornered like a slightly injured tea dragon
Yeah.
on the street, and she rescues the tea dragon. I do really like that right off the bat. She doesn't attack the dogs. She doesn't hurt the dogs.
Yeah. She just scares
She
them off.
has meat because she's been shopping, and she's like, I'm gonna give these. They're just hungry.
Yeah.
Right? Like she's like immediately she's like empathizing with the dogs that are attacking this thing, and they're like, oh, they're just hungry. So she gives them the meat, rescues the tea dragon, and then
Nurses him back to health.
yeah, and her dad knows the tea dragon and says knows who looks after it, and so she takes it back, and that is when she meets Ezekiel
Yeah. And Eric.
and Eric,
Yeah.
who are tea dragon keepers, I guess.
Yeah.
They keep tea dragons, they look after them, and they like harvest the tea
tea.
leaves that grow on their backs,
Yeah.
and make tea with them. And they are also looking after a young girl called Minette,
Yes.
who has lost her memory.
Yeah. I love the amnesia trope.
Yes.
Love it.
And so it's all about like Greta like spending time with them and learning to like look after tea dragons, and also learning about like how important it is for these crafts to be like passed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it also makes like a great present of like she wants to keep going on with like the smithing business as well.
Yeah,
Like she makes a teapot at the end for them.
I think it would be
was very
really
sweet.
easy for a book like this to be like, I'm going to look after tea dragons and not do smithing. But instead she's like, basically it's like, in the process of learning about the tea dragons, her like passion for smithing is also like renewed. And she's like,
Exactly.
I want to do both of these things. I want my mum to feel like I'm learning from her, right? Like I want to continue my mum's trade, but also I want to continue this tea dragon thing.
Exactly.
And I like that she doesn't like give up one for the other.
Yeah. There's no like that stress of like you need to pick only the teas, only the tea dragons. It's very sweet.
I love
The little
the way that
sprite.
it's set.
The little sprite as well that Greta's
Yes,
got. I
Brick.
forget their name. Yeah.
Brick. Yeah, Brick is like a little like
Brick is so
fire
cute.
sprite guy. Very
Yeah.
cute. I was gonna say I really love how the chapters are seasons.
Yeah, same.
So we start off in spring and then it goes summer, autumn, and winter.
Yeah. I really like how that is broken up because to make the
I think
chapters
it's a
as
really
well.
good way to also make it feel like time is passing. And we don't obviously see everything that happens in between. But I like that it's just like,
You can get the
It's a great
sense
way.
that they're like together and that they talk and there's that
Yeah,
sense of like a
uh-huh.
growing friendship throughout the seasons and it's very, very
yeah.
sweet.
And I think particularly for like a middle grade aimed book,
Yeah.
I think a lot of kids that age would probably be turned off if there was too much in between stuff. Right? Like, personally, I would love to see,
I would love to just see them going around like harvesting the
just
little
them
leaves.
spending time together. Absolutely, I'm here for that. But
Uh-huh.
I think knowing the age that this is targeted at, it works really well to be like, they've been spending time together. I've just not showed you 3 months of them talking because you
Yeah.
don't want that.
I would want it.
I want
I
it.
want it. Give me a little
But-
prose book of them just hanging out.
Oh.
I would love that. I I also love like the whole society of them rebuilding the society and adoption process of men that Eskel and Eric have as well. Them taking her in, it's very, very sweet. I kind of did enjoy the threatening aspect of their I really liked their past together, Heskel and Eric, of them being adventurers and it going wrong, but they're like, oh, but that's okay because we'll be together, and it's very
they're adventurers, and Eric gets wounded and is like, you don't have to stay with me, you can go back to adventuring. And Ezekiel's like, it was never the adventuring that I was there for.
Exactly.
Actually. I was not just there for the adventuring.
I was there for the broody warrior. Thank you very much. It very much gives Travis Baldry, but
yes,
graphic novel form.
Yes, it is. It is
sweet.
Exactly that sort of vibe. It really, really is. Because the whole thing about them reforming the society is because there used to be a Tea Dragon society, of which Ezekiel and Eric were members, and they mentioned that all of the others have either died or given up looking after Tea Dragons, or just can't anymore. And they're the only two that are left doing it, because it's at one point I think Ezekiel says something about how it's a thing that takes time.
Yeah.
And that used to be good, but now people don't want to take their time doing these things.
Very much a today topic as well of all the fast culture we have now.
Absolutely. It is so much like that. It is
just staring at Camille.
By the end they all have their own Tea Dragons. And they're like, oh, we can reform the Tea Dragon Society with the two adults and the two kids. And I think that's really sweet. And like you say, the message about
taking your time.
Yeah. And
enjoying
not
the little
losing
things.
out on these crafts.
Yeah.
Just because they're slow.
Yeah. Because sometimes they're the best, because
sometimes it's important to take your time doing it.
Exactly, because that's how you get
it's
the best
a
product.
mindfulness thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very anti-consumerist.
Oh, extremely. I really like that. My only grief was I wish it was longer. But then we said that earlier of we wanted those in between conversations. Once again, this is for kids.
It is for kids. It is aimed at middle grade, and that's
that's okay.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing that I would absolutely love to read with a kid.
Oh, absolutely.
Or,
absolutely.
give to a kid and be like, read this.
I want prints of this all around my house because I love the color palette and everything so much.
This is the other thing that we do need to talk about, because graphic novels, the art,
stunning.
It is really, really beautiful. It's really cozy. It's like you say, the color palette is really nice. It's really soft and warm.
I really like how they use background. It's all nature based, and even if they use a plain block background, there's always leaves or flowers in it. Yeah,
there's always some little detail.
And it
is really, really beautiful.
I really like the use of flat color in the sky as well, because it's just so. It just brightens everything up.
When you look at it, it is almost entirely just flat colours.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of shading.
It's
but it really works because they've obviously really carefully picked the palette.
Yeah, it's very specifically placed darker tones. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
In Minetta's hair.
It works so well. Yes.
Cotton candy. Delicious. I loved all the locations, the house, the wee cabin that they live in. Oh, it's very sweet. Or when she's starting to make more crafts, you can see little very pink against the really dark red, and you can really tell it's very. I just love it so much. I'm now just flipping through it. It's so sweet. Yeah.
No, I'm doing the same. The just the whole feel of it.
Yeah.
It really matches the story and the aesthetic just perfectly. It's great.
This is why it's my favourite, because I could gush about this for ages. Because I need to read more, because I can't believe I haven't read on. I really don't. And also, the dialogue is very, very sweet.
Yes.
It's very, very quotable as well.
It really is.
It has, once again, that kind of mindfulness aspect of like people being calm with tea. Oh, and yeah, it's very, very sweet. I also loved how Minetta was a prophetess as well.
Yes.
That was a really good like backstory for her. I know I jumped there, but from background to prophetess, but you know, the backgrounds of all these characters are really interesting.
Yeah.
They're very fantasy. These could all be fantasy D&D characters.
Absolutely. I really like how the palette subtly changes between each of the seasons.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Like you know, obviously it says at the start of each chapter, like chapter 1, spring, but then like when you go into the summer, you're like, oh, the colours are just slightly different.
Like autumn's all
autumn,
like
there's like more
reds.
autumnal colours, obviously.
Yeah.
And it just helps keep that feel that you're in a different time of year to the previous chapter. It really just like flows very nicely.
And they don't like juxtaposition like style or anything. They always keep a very like similar colour palette that moves really gently. I really like it.
Yeah. I think this is one of those books where I would say get it in the hardback.
Yeah. You'll want it in the hardback.
I can't imagine that in paperback it has quite the same feel, obviously. But like just because it's so pretty, I think having this as like a hardback one is just yeah.
Plus you get those gorgeous end papers.
Yes.
Oh.
The end papers are very cute.
I love
All
them.
of it's really, really cute.
All very, very cute.
I also I love the designs of the tea dragons.
Oh my god, same. I love
because
them.
they are dragony,
Yeah.
obviously, but they're also like a bit mammally, right? Like there's some that look a bit foxy and some that look a bit doggy.
Like
and,
I know one looks like a hedgehog. Which one is that?
Rubos.
Rebos, thank you. It's kind of
Yes.
hedgehoggy.
Yeah, there's like a hedgehoggy vibe.
Yeah. Or like Chamomile's definitely got some dog.
Some dog in
He's
it.
got some dog in him.
Yeah, I like that. I love when we get dragons that aren't just like the Western dragon,
Yeah.
right? Like, don't get me wrong, I have no issue with that sort of dragon, but I like when people are like, let's make the dragons just a little bit different.
Like I love an interesting take on dragons because they don't always have to be
Yes.
huge and scary. These are tiny and so sweet. And
Yeah.
it kind of reads like a personality test as well.
It does a bit. I guarantee there is almost certainly like a quiz somewhere on the internet of like, what type of tea dragon are you?
Oh, absolutely. I cannot get around hibiscus and
we'll
peppermint.
find it when we're done recording and take it.
Yeah, we have to do that. I'm feeling hibiscus. She's just so round. I love her. That's how you base cuteness, right? Roundness.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Which is why Sfeel is the best
Pokemon.
because that is the roundest boy.
Exactly. Or like fluffiness meter. That's why I love Zoroark so much. Fluffy.
Yeah.
He's got a big tuft of hair on the front.
Yeah.
She's cute. Okay? She's my girl. I love them. But no. I think they make more for the second one, but I could be wrong. Or they maybe just introduce the other ones a bit more. But
I did notice as well that in the back it talks about there being a Tea Dragon Society card game. And I want to find out more
hold on.
about that. I want to know more of
There
this.
is a board game. I did not know this. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
Do you know, actually, that it's a bit like oh god, Flamecraft?
It does. It does look a bit like
Aesthetically?
Framecraft. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, yeah, the cards and everything, that's so pretty. You have to build a bond with a companion dragon.
Yeah.
Ah!
So it's like you each have a deck based on one of the Tea Dragons, and then you've got to like build your bond, and
Oh.
at the end of winter, whoever's got the best bond wins.
Wins. In the cozy game, there's only one winner.
Only one can win.
Oh god. But yeah, Tea Dragon, my favourite out of all of these ones. For obvious reasons. Oh, delicious.
Yes, we've started off really strong. And personally, I enjoyed all three.
Oh yeah, I definitely enjoyed all three.
Tea Dragon Society is definitely my favourite. I think it's one of those things that no matter what mood I'm in, I could always read that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The same is not necessarily true of the other two.
Yeah. I have to be in a very particular mood, especially when Saga is pulled out.
Yes. Yes. We'll get to
I
that.
had to be ready.
Also about the Tea Dragon Society,
Yeah.
I love the representation.
Yes, absolutely.
I love the disability representation with Eric. I love that at no point is it like a thing that he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
It's just like, you just accept it. I love that.
Yeah. Never brings up in
and
conversation. It's just like, oh, he's
obviously-
emotional. Cool.
Eric and Ezekiel being gay. Love that.
My babies. They're so sweet together.
There's like skin tone diversity as well, which
Yes.
is great. It's not just a bunch of white people.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it really is. It's just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And
Props
I know that
to them.
Kay O'Neill also has written other graphic novels,
Yes.
which, you know, I should
Always
I
a
should
good shout to check
investigate.
out.
Yeah.
Which-
Um,
I think I read another one by Kay O'Neill. I'm trying to remember what it is.
well, they did Aquicorn
I think I've read Aquicorn. I could be wrong.
and Princess Ever After,
Oh.
apparently, and a number of other things.
Oh, Dewdrop. They did the Dewdrop
I
book.
see.
That was very sweet by the Axolotl. Oh, and the Moth
they've got
Keeper.
one coming out next year that looks really cute too.
The moth. Yeah.
A Song for You and I.
Oh.
A middle grade graphic novel for fans of soft, sweeping fantasy romances.
Okay. I'm interested.
About a ranger
I love Rangers.
and a shepherd.
I love Rangers. They're so fun.
This looks very cute.
It looks
Adorable.
adorable.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we?
Yes. Let's-
Have you got anything else on
I-
Tea Dragon Society?
I don't, because I obviously think this
Yeah,
book is
we've
perfection.
gushed about it.
I-
I
I-
don't know what more we can say.
I love
It's
it so
fantastic.
much. If you're wondering, like, if you should pick it up, just Google it and look at images
Yeah.
and just buy it. Add it to
obviously,
cart.
It is middle grade.
Yes.
Right, but it is absolutely not like too baby.
Yeah.
Like it's not like one of those books where you read it and you're like, this is like too much of a kid's book.
Exactly.
It really does work for all ages. Fun for all the family.
Fun for all. The whole family.
Okay,
It's very sweet.
let's progress onwards from
Yes.
middle grade to I would call it YA.
I would say YA too. Like, at least new adult. Yeah.
with the Sad Ghost Club.
Because they are in, like, high school era.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is like there's a lot of stuff about like exam stress,
Yeah.
and
Right.
social anxiety,
Yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, the Sad Ghost Club, which is
yeah.
about. Sorry, what?
Can I
Read
join
it.
this club?
I know.
Can I please join the club? I want to be in it.
So, the Sad Ghost Club is about our main character is SG, and they are. We only ever see them as like a sheet ghost, right?
Yeah.
They've got, they're a person, but they've got like the ghost sheet thing, and they are very anxious. They've got exams and stuff. And
They're writing an essay and they feel like
writing
they're
an
not doing
essay,
enough. Yeah.
And they get invited to a party, and they're like, "Oh, I'll go," and then freak out immediately after saying they'll go, and get really anxious about the idea of going to the party. And then they spend the whole time alone at the party until they see another person also because everybody else is just like people. They don't have
Yeah.
the ghost thing. And then they see across the room another person who has the like sad ghost vibe, the sheet ghost thing going on, and they leave together and take a walk and have a chat and become friends.
Socks
Yes,
is adorable.
Socks. They're both adorable. Firstly, I love the aesthetic, right? I love
Me
the whole
too.
sheet ghost thing. I love that it's obviously not literal, right? Like they
Yeah.
are not actually sheet ghosts. They're not actually wearing those things.
Yeah.
It's like a
Metaphor.
visual metaphor.
Yeah.
For people who you just look at and you're like, you feel like you're anxious.
Yeah.
You can just see.
You can
something.
kind of tell.
Especially if you're an anxious, stressed sort of person, when you see somebody across the room, you're like, we're having the same thoughts right now.
Exactly. You're also like, I want to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. But I do love that, the aesthetic.
Yeah. I also love how you can't tell I love that you can't tell what they look like as well.
Yes.
Because it's like
I-
non-discerning. So you
I
can't
think
judge them
that-
for how they look as well.
Yes, I think it also helps the reader relate.
Absolutely.
Right? Because SG could be literally anybody,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that means that for a teenager reading that, they're not put off by like the protagonist not looking like them,
Exactly.
right? They can just be like, this could be me.
Yeah. Because it
They
could
can
be
put
anyone.
themselves under that bed sheet.
It's like Spider-Man.
this is
Anyone can wear
Yeah.
the mask.
Oh, it is that sort of thing of just
Yeah.
like it doesn't actually matter who's underneath.
Uh-huh.
And I think it makes it easier for people who are reading it to relate and to understand
Absolutely.
and to connect with SG and
Mm-hmm.
the feelings that they're going through.
We never actually said our rating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I gave this an 8.
Same.
Oh my god.
Please. I hope
So
we're
that's
3
good.
for 3. I really do.
We might be.
I hope.
We might not be. Who knows?
Who knows? It's us. I really do like the old timey vibe of like Halloween ghost costume as well, because it makes people feel the idea of people feeling invisible and drifting through the world as well.
Yep.
And there was that whole thing a couple of years ago with like the ghost ghost pictures that you take
Yeah,
with the
the
ghost
like
sheet.
TikTok trend.
Yeah,
Yep.
I fell trapped to that. I loved them. They were so fun.
I think it was great, yeah.
It was such a sweet idea, and this is just that like finding someone to connect to is a very like really sweet metaphor. Very
I
sweet.
think it's something that most people can relate to.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do show
like-
like different mental health as well throughout each graphic novel, which I remember. Yeah.
Yes.
So like
Yeah.
everyone, yeah, you can definitely relate to someone. It's very sweet. And Socks in particular was just too sweet. They both they struggle to get out of bed and motivate themselves, and
Yeah.
they're overwhelmed, and it's just
And Socks talks about how they ended up like taking a year out of school
yeah,
and have to go back and redo the year because they were like depressed
yeah,
and in bed. And they talk about how they've been seeing like a mental health professional and how that's helped them.
yeah. I very much relate to that because I had to take it a year of high school, and I was like, oh, that hurts.
I had to take a year out of uni.
Oh,
So yeah,
Yeah.
No, I relate too. It is exactly that. Like even if you haven't had to do it yourself, I think a lot of people either know someone who has or understand the feelings. Right? I think most people have had those days where they just do not want to get out of bed
yeah,
because it's just, and there's no reason, right? It's not like there's no like discernible reason for it, right? It's just your brain's just like no.
yeah. Okay.
Today's a no day.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna stay here. We're just gonna let it happen.
And that's understandable.
It's absolutely understandable,
'Cause-
and I like that this doesn't like demonize that. if you know what I
Yeah,
mean. Like,
it paints
doesn't,
it in a
like,
very good light. Like
yeah.
how-
It's like obviously it's not good for you.
oh, you got yeah.
But it's not like at no point is it like you're shit and lazy for
Yeah,
doing
it
that.
never shames them, which I really
Yes.
I really like. It just kind
That's
of
a good way
like
of putting it.
examines how like intrusive thoughts can like derail
Uh-huh.
you.
The very start of this it starts right off with SG waking up and being like, oh, I stayed up late doing that essay. I've completely ruined the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got way too much sleep, or I didn't get enough sleep, and I need way more. I'm never going to get anything done. And there's this one thing, page 10 and 11, that's just like a 2-page spread, and it's just like them, and there's like dark cloudiness in the room, and it's just like, I'll fail, everyone's going to laugh, my essay's going to be rubbish, I'll never get good grades, I'll never get a job. And it just like, it spirals, right? Like, you feel the spiral. And that's so relatable, because it goes from one thing where it's like, I need to get this essay done. And rather than just being like, the worst that happens is I'm a bit late with my essay, or I get a bad grade on my essay, you hard spiral, and it goes from
the worst.
I don't have this essay ready to I'm going to be homeless and jobless
forever,
and depressed, and I'm never going to get it done, and I'm worthless, and like that page, like 10 pages in, I'm like, oh,
that hurt.
Who wrote a graphic novel about me?
Where is the secret camera? Like,
has somebody been watching me for my whole life?
How do they know? Like, it's so gosh darn relatable. It's spooky, and I really do appreciate that at the end of the book there is like the mental health service index.
Yes,
which I thought was
so important.
I'm so glad they included that, because it's so
right at the end. It's like, here's a bunch of resources. They are UK resources because the author is from the UK.
Yes.
I don't know if maybe that's different if it's been published in the US. I don't know if maybe the resources
once again,
are different.
if you're from the US, let us know. If the end of the book is different.
Yeah. Please reach out.
Tweet us at.
But, it's got like a list of different resources that people can use, and there's like helplines and just websites with information, and I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
In a book like this, to be like, if you relate to any of this, maybe consider looking at these resources. Have a think about it. Like, and I think for a lot of kids will be like, oh, you know, this is fine. I feel really horrible and I can't get out of bed, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I think reading this book, they might be like, oh, maybe I should check on that.
Absolutely. Especially after reading something like this, which hits really hard. You have to be I had to be in a specific mindset to read it.
Yes.
Because I as much as I love the graphic novel, I'm like, whoa, that's a sucker punch.
It's not one you can read if you're on like an off day.
Yeah, you have to be
having, like,
feeling good.
A day where your brain is not happy, this will hit you a bit too hard.
Yeah.
And it won't help. But on the days where you're not feeling like that, you can read it and be like, oh, that's just like the other day.
It feels like a warm hug at some point.
Yeah.
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 I know it continues in the other, because I've read books 2 and 3 as well of this series, and it develops into them sort of creating this group for people who,
which I really
alone.
like. The little like club that they have together of people who, we all feel like this. We can help each other, and I really enjoy that.
Because I think
as much
that's
as, like,
part of it as well, is that when you're going through that sort of thing, part of you is like, nobody else feels like this, right? They can't, because look at them all. They're all happy. They've got friends. Nobody else feels like this. But I think, at least for me, there was always like a little voice in the back of my mind that was like, other people do feel like this.
Yeah.
But then part of your brain goes, but they're dealing with it better than you are. They're probably not.
Yeah. You're not psychic. You can't read other people's thoughts.
Yeah. It's like, chances are other people are going through exactly what you're going through, or very similar. And maybe they're better at masking it or whatever, but that doesn't mean they're healthier about it.
Exactly. You don't know them.
So I think the sort of whole thing about like reaching out and...
Reaching out is such a good message.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not being alone in it, and recognizing
speaking about it. Yeah.
Other people are having the same issues and the same problems, and sometimes just talking about it with somebody who's also going through it helps.
Like immensely.
That's so important.
Yeah, truly is. I really do love the poster at the end. There's just like, call us or get in touch. No, email us here at, and then immediately in the second one, they meet up.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of people, and you may feel anxious about meeting up, but it's still a good thing.
I feel anxious about meeting up with people that I've known for years.
God, same.
You know?
Best friends from high school, still anxious to meet up with them.
100%.
Yeah.
They're terrifying.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And I think that's a really positive message in that one,
Yeah, okay.
for sure.
I love it. This got
I think it
deep
is.
very quickly.
Again, the art style is very cute.
I love it. And it's not
black
like...
and white. I love that.
Mm-hmm. I think it's
Works really
perfect that it's in black and white, actually, because it's
I think so, because I think if it was in colour, it would
Yeah.
be different.
And
the vibe would be different.
And plus, the cover is semi-black and white with like tints of blue and grey in it, and it's not very colourful
also-
apart from the yellow.
I do love how each of the books in the series has a different colour on the
Yeah.
cover. So this one's yellow. There's book 2's orange and book 3's blue.
I think is the fourth one purple?
I don't know, because I keep forgetting that it's
out.
exists. Good Club. Yes, it is purple.
Yeah,
yes.
nailed it.
It's actually technically not published yet.
Oh.
But I mean, by the time this episode goes up, it has been.
Oh, nice.
But it is available through work.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Publishes on the 8th of August.
Oh, that's exciting.
Spoilers for people listening. We're recording this before the 8th of August.
Oh my god! Don't give away our secrets. How dare they know that we don't do it on the day?
But yeah, I love that aesthetic choice to have it be like black and white, but each one's got one colour to just make the cover pop a bit more.
Exactly.
But the actual book itself, the actual graphic novel, is all black and white. And I think that works really well.
Plus, Frederick is the best boy in the entire world.
Fred the Frog.
Frederick the Frog.
I love Fred so much. Fred is a frog who lives by a bench that SG goes and sits at to, like, think.
Yeah.
And SG talks to Fred, and Fred sits there and stares.
Yeah.
And it's very cute. And when SG and Socks leave the party, they go up to that bench, and SG introduces Socks to Fred. It's very sweet, and you cannot possibly ever go wrong with a frog.
I take pictures sometimes of pages I love in graphic novels. I have like 18 photos of Fred.
Of just Fred.
Fred. I just zoom round up on his little face. I just love how he's drawn.
I love how he's drawn. It's
so
so cute.
like rotund. Once again.
I do also love Pockets, the cat.
Yeah, absolutely. I love
It's
little
very
comfort animals.
Yes.
You definitely know SJ has a voice for Fred.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
right?
everyone has a voice for, like, their pet.
Right?
I need
Like,
to know
we
what
all
the
do.
voice is. Because I'm
Like,
reading
different-
it how
Different
my
cats have different voices.
yeah, I'm reading it how my cat sounds in my head,
Mm.
which is a really high
How
pitch.
does your cat? We can cut this out, but I'm curious. What is your cat? What your voice?
Let me
for
find
your
out a
cat?
random line.
For instance, they're cool.
It's literally just a really high pitch.
Hi.
I love that.
Hello.
Is that how Scylla sounds?
Absolutely, how
That's
Scylla
incredible.
sounds. Because she's a little lady. She's a little old lady, so she needs to sound like a little old lady. But she's
Right,
very
that makes
sassy.
sense. Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I like that.
thank you.
That's good.
You should hear my mum do it. It's fantastic.
Okay. Anything else about Sad Ghost Club?
I don't think so. It's a great graphic novel. Go read it.
It is. It's great, and you know, it's the sort of thing that if you know a young person who is struggling with anxiety, they could read this.
Exactly. I've
Just
gifted it to
suggest it.
many people.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
100%.
Are my notes
Okay.
for Saga? Hold on.
Let's move on from cozy nice vibes
Yes.
to
Saga.
to Saga,
Saga.
which, as I said earlier, is a graphic
Novel. Yes. I always forget, and it takes me by surprise.
I don't know how you could forget because it's
Maybe
like,
I just like blocked it out of my memory.
it's like within a page. There's
Yeah, the
you know,
first scene is her giving birth.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Our rating for Saga Volume 1, issues 1 to
Yes,
8,
well,
is
6.
I gave it an
1 to
8.
6.
Oh, a 6. We're
No, it's issues 1 to 6.
yeah, issues 1 to 6. I gave it
You
an
said
8.
issues 1 to 8. You gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8.
Oh, Eve,
That's
I
what I
gave it a 7.
No. We had one job.
We were so
We could
close.
edit this out and then redo it.
Just lie.
Yeah, they don't need to know.
No, but we'll know. We'll know forever that it was a falsehood.
This is true. We have lied. I'm so sorry. I liked a lot of things about this. I liked the lion cat. Specifically.
Yes.
I loved them a lot. I liked people with wings. I liked sassy ghost children. I liked the fact that the machine head was actually named Prince Robot,
Yep.
which I found really funny. And rocket ships made out of trees. Big fan.
Incredible.
Huge fan of that.
The like world building in this is fantastic.
Right. I immediately feel sci-fi and fantasy-ish. Because one, magical, and yet there's high-tech guns and interstellar communication. It's just so cool. And you immediately feel into it. And it's really funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah. So it's about two soldiers from like opposite sides of a war
Yeah.
who have fallen in love and have, as you say at the start of the book, given birth to a baby. Right? Like she gives birth to their baby.
Literally first line,
and
am
they
I
then spend
shitting?
the whole book just trying to like find somewhere safe for them to live with their baby.
Which we know through because we get the narration from the baby herself, Hazel, that things aren't good because they need to run, and it's constantly like giving this idea that they're not making great decisions, but it's the best decision they can make at the moment.
Yeah, like I think that's sort of a through thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the time they've got to choose between two shit choices, right? And end up picking the slightly better of
Yeah.
the two shit choices.
Yeah. It's freaky as hell. I loved it.
Yeah, so it's about they're trying to like find somewhere to survive, and there is Prince Robot
I love
who
it.
is like trying to find them because it can't get out that, you know.
Yeah. There's been one
Two
a
people from
crossbreed that's
opposite
lived
sides.
or something. Is what
Exactly.
They call
It's like unacceptable because it might end the war, and Prince Robot's people are basically profiteering from the war.
Yeah. Bastard. Horrible.
And so he also hires the Will,
Yeah.
who is like an assassin
Freelancer.
freelancer, and he hires him to like track down, or he is hired. I don't think. No, sorry, he's not hired by Prince Robot. He's hired by the other side.
Yeah. Anyway.
He's hired by Marco, who is the dad. His people hire the Will to hunt them down. Yeah, it's a whole messy thing, and it continues for like there's like a lot of volumes of this book, right? Like
a lot
it's
of
a
volumes.
lot
Because
of
Hazel
graphic
grows
novels.
up over the course of the graphic
Yes.
novels. I need to continue. I've not
Yes.
continued on past this one.
I have read the first few volumes, I think, but not for a very long time.
Oh, fair enough. I really enjoyed the Will and the
Yes,
Stock and
and
everyone.
Lion Cat.
I really
yeah.
enjoyed them. It was really freaking cool to see such cool different I really did enjoy how many cool aliens there were, because I don't think there's a single human in it, or is the Will human? I can't remember. But
I don't know that we know, but he at least seems human.
yeah,
But yeah, the rest are. I mean, we've got
very cool races.
yeah,
very
we've got Marco's people who are like magical
With horns.
and have horns.
They look
and
slightly
stuff.
like the D&D race.
Tieflings.
Yes,
they are a bit tiefling.
very
yes.
tiefling-esque.
And then we have Alana's people who have like wings.
Yes. I think it's just wings. Is it just wings? Ow.
I think because
Yeah.
they don't do magic. They're like the more sci-fi people.
Yeah.
They just shoot guns.
Yeah. I don't think they can fly either with their wings, which is a shame.
Yeah. Oh no, but I think some of them can.
Some of them can, but she definitely can.
She can.
She can
because
fly.
hers have been like.
Bled? Is that what the...
Yeah, because she was captured. She was a prisoner. This is how they met. Pretty sure this is revealed in this one. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
I'm pretty sure. They were
This is
in
how they
prison
met.
together.
Is that he was a prison guard?
Yeah.
And she was a prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think that's why her wings don't like work because her people have
they've
like
been snipped.
bigger wings than hers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It is like very sci-fi fantasy.
Yes, and I really like that. I really like the blend
love that.
of the genres as well.
When sci-fi and fantasy blend well, I love it.
Love it.
Love it so much.
It's scrumptious.
It truly is. And the aesthetic of this again is real good.
I love the imagery. It's so pretty. And once
It is. There is a lot of nudity.
there is.
But like the aesthetic of it's just fantastic.
Like the floating kid, I forget their name.
Isabel.
I love that they died by stepping on a landmine, and you can tell because there's no bottom half to them.
Yes.
I love it.
She is the top half of a teenager and has like intestines dangling from her waist. And
So
she
sassy
is there
as well.
like childminder sort of. She joins on to like help them travel and to help look after the baby. Yeah.
And like they don't want to get Hazel's help at first because obviously ghost, not Hazel, Isabel.
Yeah.
But they kind of like because Isabel wants to leave the planet that they're on, so they're like they make a deal of like I'll get you to this spaceship, and if I can bond with your child, who was born here, so I can bond so that I can get off this this
so
planet.
that I can leave the planet. With
I
them.
love that because
It is great.
it's very fantasy. It's so fantasy.
Yeah.
I love the character stuff. I will say, it is a lot of nudity.
Yes.
It
There's
is
a lot of tits.
Graphic. There is a sex scene, but not for long, which is fine by me. I always forget it happens.
Yeah.
But
There is
very
a
aware.
particular focus on boobs.
Yeah.
Which I don't love.
No.
I mean, I do love boobs, but not. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Uh,
It is very in your face about it.
yes.
There's a lot of
it is.
like female nudity
I think.
opposed to male.
Yes. I think this is part of why I dropped it to a 7.
That's
is
fair.
Because I don't love when sometimes it feels like things like graphic novels and indeed TV shows, movies, rely on nudity, particularly female nudity,
Yeah.
to be like, look how mature this is, instead of being mature in the themes.
Yeah.
And this is mature in the themes as well.
Yeah.
But I don't love when they're like, let's just throw some tits in there so that people know how grown up this is.
Exactly.
That kind of annoys me.
Look how cool and grown up I am. I know what boobs are.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's like that's not very grown up of you.
Yeah. It's just a bit.
Yeah. But yeah, there are some things
Yeah.
I would change. Like the stock is very undressed for the whole thing.
The stock is a, just to be clear for anybody who hasn't read it, she is a
Spider.
like
Arachnid.
spider person. It's like a spider centaur.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
the centaur part, the human torso part, is just fully naked.
Yeah.
Thankfully, she does have like clothes on the bottom half,
Yeah.
but she is just tits out the whole time.
Which I didn't understand.
It doesn't
Ability
feel
show.
like, because again she is like a freelancer, like a mercenary. I don't feel like it makes much sense as a mercenary to be like, here's my tits.
Yeah.
Like surely you want like body armor
Right?
or something.
Like especially what happens to her.
Yeah,
She just
yeah,
gets-
she does.
She gets shot
Yeah.
through the
She
chest.
gets shot straight through the chest. Yeah,
'Cause-
it's brutal.
Unarmored.
Yeah, it's like wear a top or something,
Yeah.
please, for the love of God.
Please.
This is what I'm saying. It feels like there's no reason for it. It's literally just that somebody wanted tits out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't love that.
No.
Yeah.
There was a lot of subplot as well, but for the most part, I loved the main couple, and I think they were very sweet. I loved the idea that Mark was also a pacifist. But then you can, when you see him like unleash his sword and not be a pacifist for 1 second, it's carnage.
Yes, so this is his whole thing, is like he's been a soldier and he hated it, right? Like he doesn't want to be part of that anymore. And so he's like, I'm a pacifist, I'm not going to draw my sword. And at one point he does have to draw his sword to like protect them. And Alana ends up having to shoot him because he does not stop, right? Like he goes into like a rage, like a rampage, like barbarian, just like totally lost it,
unleashed,
right? And she shoots him so that he'll stop.
With so like a taser gun thing. But she like brushes off.
It's it's quite something.
It was very interesting for his character. I'm excited to see more of that explored, especially because he breaks his sword as well at the end.
Yes.
To see what he's going to do next, especially because his parents arrive at the end.
Yeah, right at the end, his parents turn up. Yes.
They look so angry at him.
That's one of the other things that I really love about this, is that there's like a narrator.
Yeah.
And the narrator is Hazel.
Yeah.
It is the daughter.
It's
the daughter like telling the story of her life. And I love that.
I really did enjoy that because she's sassy as hell about it as well. She's like,
yes,
my parents are dumb. Well, not specifically, but it's very funny.
The very last page where it's Marco's parents, it just says along the top, and then my grandparents came to live with us. And then it ends. And I'm like, that is brilliant.
That's so good.
It is. It's great.
And you really have to like look out for their narration as well, because it's in white text along, like it could be anywhere on the page, and it's really fun.
Yes, I like that they use like a different lettering style for the narration.
Yeah,
so that it's clear that it's not like, you know, part of what's going on. Okay, let's talk about some other graphic novels. Real quick.
I think we have 3 each that we would like to recommend.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to start, I guess. I'm going to start with Cosmonites by Hannah Templar, which I think I have talked about before. I've lost track of what I have and haven't talked about.
We should make a master list.
Then I'd have to go back and listen to all of the episodes.
Only the last like 20 minutes.
Which is about it's sci-fi, and it's in this world where every planet has a princess, and when the princess reaches a certain age, the planet hosts like gladiatorial combat, and the winner of the gladiatorial combat gets to take the princess to like marry her or whatever.
Oh yes, I remember this one.
Our main character, when she was younger, was like friends with and had a massive crush on her planet's princess, and helped her escape from the planet before the gladiatorial combat happened. And then years later, these two like cosmonites who fight in the combat, who are secretly women,
nice.
turn up at Pan's dad's like repair shop place and ask him to help repair some stuff, and she runs off with them, and because she wants to try and find Tara, the princess from her planet, so that they can like be together or whatever. And it's very gay and very fun.
Heck yeah.
And the like tagline on the back of it says for this ragtag band of space gays, liberation means beating the patriarchy at its own game.
Nice.
And if that doesn't entice you, I don't know what will.
Oh,
there's
heck
2 books out at the moment, and hopefully another one at some point. But it's very good.
Hell yeah.
I really enjoy it. So yeah. What's one of yours?
I'll go with my first one, and I'll go the Life is Strange comic books, which I'm currently making my way through. I think I'm on number 4 that I started like 2 days ago. It's very sweet. They're by Emma Vasili, I might be pronouncing that wrong. I do apologise. But they are a continuation of the first game. To kind of round off kind of like Max's storyline. So I'll give you a quick synopsis of what the game is. If you haven't played the game, go play the game. It's fantastic. It's my favourite of all of the games because I think they've slowly gone downhill.
Yeah, if you
so
don't
far.
know the story of Life is Strange by now, I'm quite impressed.
Let's face it, it's
it
pretty everywhere. Max goes back to Arcadia Bay where they used to live as a kid, and they are going to the notorious Blackwell Academy. It is like a very prestigious like school, especially for like the arts and stuff, and they are a photography learner, student. Thank you. And they realise they can rewind time, which is very fun. So they meet up with their childhood best friend Chloe, and they are trying to uncover the mystery of Rachel Amber's death, who was the girlfriend to Chloe in previous time, who went missing and is presumed still missing, but yes. And it's such a good mystery. I really liked it. And the comic books continue on with Max's powers going to different multiverses as well, which is very fun.
Yes.
Art style is gorgeous.
In the game,
yes,
as well, because this is relevant. In the game,
mm-hmm.
they make the discovery because Max, in the very start of the game, mm-hmm. has this like vision of Arcadia Bay being destroyed by this massive tornado. So as the game progresses, they discover that that has been caused by Max fucking with the timeline because Chloe
keeps dying.
Before Max and Chloe like re-meet, Chloe gets shot
mm-hmm.
by
Nathan.
This kid, Nathan Prescott. I'm not going to go into all of his stuff, but she gets shot, and Max discovers that by rewinding time to save Chloe, she is like doomed Arcadia Bay.
Yeah.
So right at the very end of the game, the player has to make a choice between saving the town or saving Chloe.
And there is one correct answer. There's a correct answer. Bay or Bay?
Sure.
Okay.
Bay or Bay?
I choose Bay. Bay,
but,
A-E,
so
to be clear.
I think I'm right in saying that the comics are a
Very
continuation of the story where the player chooses Chloe.
Yes.
Right? Because it's Max and Chloe.
Yes. But,
After
and
the destruction of
technically
Arcadia
no
Bay.
as well. Because technically, when we start off, we're in a world where Chloe is alive. But then we go to a different world. This is not really a spoiler. In the second book, Rachel is still alive.
Right.
Which is very fun seeing their dynamic. Because obviously, Max has never met her before.
Yeah, they never meet. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, spoiler for the game, she's dead.
She's
very dead.
Anyway,
what is your next graphic novel?
I'm going to go with Lumberjanes.
Yay!
Which is by a whole bunch of people. There's many a name on
the Lumberjanes.
Grace Ellis, Andy Stevenson, Shannon Waters, Gus Allen. There's more because
mm-hmm.
like each of the volumes has like a slightly different team on it.
Yeah.
But basically, Lumberjanes is about 5 friends who are who all meet at this like summer camp, which is a summer camp for hardcore lady types. I think is the phrase they use, and they're in this like forest where there's a little bit of magic stuff happening.
A little bit of magic.
Keep encountering like little supernatural critters, and it's very sort of Gravity Fallsy as well. Yes, it's about these 5 girls who are at this summer camp, and they get tangled up in all of this crazy like supernatural folklore-y shit. It's great, it's gay, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Very like coming of age, summer camp fun. It's fantastic. If you like Gravity Falls, you should definitely give it a go because it is like very similar sort of vibes.
I didn't realise it was like Gravity Falls. That's making me want to read it more.
Yeah.
Because
it is. It's got that same like, obviously the whole like forest with supernatural
mm-hmm.
shit thing happening.
Creepy cozy.
But there's also exactly.
Yeah.
And there's like stuff going on in the background that you don't necessarily pick up on to begin with, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah,
I love that because
again, there's like approximately a bajillion
perfect
volumes of it. So
because the Gravity Falls brain rot is back because of a certain book coming out. Book of Bell.
Yeah.
I was so
But
excited.
yeah, it has that same sort of, like you say, creepy, cozy aesthetic.
Yes.
So,
Heck yeah.
yeah. What have you got next?
Mine's kind of similar with Juniper May, Knight of Taikotech City by Sarah Yo. Taikotech City is like a marvelous, peaceful city filled with technology. But one day, like, the power cuts out and begins to, like, plague residents. And everyone thinks there's this sinister foe that's trying to infiltrate and, like, destroy the city. But it turns out when Juniper May, who's a great inventor, she steps out of the city, and then she meets little frog people, who are the sweetest little guys in the world. And it's become apparent that it's not them who's causing the power cuts in the city. It's very sweet. It is a middle grade. It's very similar vibe to, I would say, Gravity Fall vibe as well, actually.
It sounds a bit sort of Nimona-y too.
Yeah, because
Kind
I can see the comparison. It's the I can't remember the frog companion's name, but they are very snarky. They're very Nimona-esque. Together, they're very, very sweet. I really do like it. I can't really say much else because it's very short. There's only 2 out at the moment, so
Yeah. No, I keep seeing them and meaning to pick them up and read them.
they're so cute. I can't wait for the 3rd one because the 2nd one had a cliffhanger and it destroyed me.
Oh, brutal.
Right, in a middle grade book, you bastards!
She's nasty.
Right? How dare you?
Okay, my last one is On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, it's a fucking chonker of a book, but it's a graphic novel. It's like, it's really hard to sort of describe the story, but it's very sort of found family. It's sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's the aesthetic of it is really pretty.
Hell
like
yeah.
the colors are great. The like it's all very like pinks and blues and reds, and it's just like it's beautiful. It really is. It has that sort of thing where it's like black and white, or like, well, instead of white it's often like sort of bluey grey colours, and then there'll be like 2 or 3 actual colours, and like different sections of the book it will have like different actual colours depending on like the area they're in or whatever. Yeah, it's really sweet. It's very cozy, found family, sci-fi.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's very sweet.
I don't really know how else to describe it, because it's really hard to talk about the plot
Yeah.
without like, because it's not really it's sort of Becky Chambersy in that it's
Ooh.
not really about the plot.
Yeah, vibe only.
You know what I mean? It's more about the crew and the family
Yeah.
sort of vibe rather than anything else.
Which are the best books because it's all about characters. Because characters always bleed out plot.
Yeah. Every time.
Every time. I yeah. my last one is similar event, Keltopia by Dave Cook and Craig Payton? Not unsure. But it's a cyberpunk graphic novel series set in a mega city, future Japan, where like heavily armed quote unquote wreckers, which are kind of like assassins, are paid to hunt rogue mechs for like money. And our main character, Shinji and Crash, who is a robot, Shinji is a rookie wrecker, and Crash is the first sentient mechanoid. So they're being hunted as fugitives across like neon metropolis, which gorgeous aesthetic. I really love it. And there's this illness going around where like the mechanoids release this like toxin that when you breathe it in, some people begin to like it's kind of like mech begins to like form in their lungs, and then they're like
Ooh.
inside, and so they begin to get really, really sick. So they're starting to like there isn't really a cure for it, so you're going to die. Basically, but with Crash, the mechanoid, I love the name Crash, they could probably rewrite the people to be able to like,
Ooh.
so that's why they're being hunted down, because the conglomerate doesn't want a cure to it, which I find They're interesting. I hate conglomeratories, you bastards. But it's a fun little thing to play around with. I just finished the second one, so I'm really excited to continue on. It's very cool. There's different perspectives from all different kinds of people who want Crash dead, who want Crash alive, from people who have the illness, from people who don't and are immune, like Shinji is immune to it. So it's very interesting to see all these kind of like different perspectives, especially because everyone wants to be like famous for being the best wrecker. It's really cool. There's a very Hunger Game vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also cyberpunk. It's very cool.
Well, that's all you need to say to get some people. It's just cyberpunk Hunger Games.
Exactly.
Bam, people are in.
I'm in. I was in. I like it. It's fun. Yeah.
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 Great. I think we've graphic novels did out.
Yeah, we've graphicked that novel.
We sure did.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's talk about what's coming up. We have
Yes.
later this month our book club episode about The Wee Free Men by Terry Pratchett,
Yay.
which I have not started reading yet, but that's fine. It won't take me long.
Yeah, no. I've been on page 70 for 2 weeks because I'm just like, oh, I know I'm going to love it. So I keep putting it down to be like, oh, I'm going to love it. Wait, I should
Yeah.
probably read that.
But yes, I'm really looking forward to that one. That'll be super duper fun.
Yeah.
And
We have set up a YouTube channel. Yay!
yes, thank you, Eve. I knew there was something. Yes, we are now on YouTube.
Hearth,
you could just type at Hearth and Tome Pod into ye olde YouTube search bar, and all of our stuff, all of the podcast is on there as well now.
Yes.
Should just like do it all itself. It should all just get uploaded and shit. So that's
That's a great thing.
good.
So,
I think it sometimes takes a little bit longer to turn up
yeah.
than other podcast channels.
That's okay.
Like, I don't think, as of today, I don't think our most recent episode is up.
Oh,
on
okay.
YouTube.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
But it'll turn up eventually.
Yeah.
It takes just a little bit of a little bit delayed.
So,
But yeah, if you wanted to be able to listen to the podcast on YouTube, it's now there
yes.
as a YouTube podcast.
Yes.
So
And everything is there,
have fun
including
with that.
trailers, and our 3-month trailer should have just come out as well
Yeah.
with our next 3 books. So, yes.
yes,
Grand stuff. We're
it's
now there.
all on there.
Yeah.
And also, Talking in the Tavern.
Yes.
Next month, we're going to try something a little bit different.
It's going
for
to be
next month's Talking in
interesting.
the Tavern.
Yeah.
We're experimenting with some things to try and adjust the workload that
Yes.
comes with this podcast.
Especially
because
September is going to be
things are
very
going
busy.
to get stressful.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to be busy
So,
yet again. So,
we thought we would try and make some tweaks and balance things out a bit more.
exactly.
So we're going to try something a little bit different with next month's Talking in the Tavern, and if that works well, then that'll probably be a sort of recurring format.
Exactly.
But we'll talk more about that
Next month.
month
When you see
when
it.
we've tried it.
Yes.
And see how it goes.
Yeah. It'll be grand.
Yes, but worry not. We're still gonna be here. We're still gonna have regular episodes. Nothing's going away.
Yes, exactly.
It's just that we're experimenting with some format changes. Just
Bear
just
with
to
us.
see.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes, please. Please bear with us.
It's going to be grand.
Yes, I think that's all of the announcement-y things.
I believe so.
Excellent.
So,
Tell us as well. Find us on social media or whatever. Tell us what graphic novels you enjoy.
yeah,
Give us recommendations because we always want more.
exactly. Message us on Instagram or Twitter or anywhere. Tweet us.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. We need more graphic novels. I want more graphic novels. I'm gonna soon be done with Life is Strange, and I don't know what to do with myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's difficult.
Life is hard.
It's damn right strange
Life is
sometimes.
Strange, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure is.
But anyway,
Okay.
we will see you later this month.
Yeah, for Terry Pratchett.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us here at Tavern. Phoenix, where can our listeners find you outside the podcast?
They can find me on Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, or Instagram, all under @beansandfungi. What about you?
You can find me, Eve, under Cozy Crow on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube.
And of course, make sure that you follow the podcast on Instagram at Hearth and Tome Pod, Twitter at Hearth and Tome, TikTok at hearth.and.tome, and YouTube at Hearth and Tome Pod to get updates about when episodes go live, behind the scenes stuff, all that good shit.
Bye! The music used within this episode was Wholesome by Kevin MacLeod through incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license.